I'm live here from VE Studios in Cork, where it's been my complete honour to be at the Network Ireland Cork branch session where they invited me to speak about money matters. So over the course of the evening, I spoke about 5 key areas. Number 1 was how to boost revenue. And one of the key ways to do that is by engaging with other people and partner to create a joint venture. So you can do that by going into your network, for example, by reaching out to your peers in Network Cork or whatever network you might be part of, or alternatively, you could go to Enterprise Europe Network, where they have a huge database of companies that are looking for fellow distributors or people to collaborate with, or for people to fund, or for people to find investment with, and a range of other things besides. So if you're looking to boost your sales, don't look inward, look outward to your network or also to something like Enterprise Europe Network. The second thing we spoke about was profit. Well, profit, it's a simple thing really, isn't it? Revenue minus costs equals profit. If only it could just be that simple. The thing is, though, is that sometimes we really need to go outside of the box to think about how to boost our revenue, decrease our costs to just, therefore, generate profits. So one of the things that I spoke about this evening then is the Innovation Partnership Feasibility Study. Now, I truly believe in practicing what you preach, and I don't talk about something that I haven't done myself. So we have experience of this twice. The Innovation Partnership Feasibility Grant is where you get a €9,000 grant that is fully funded, 100% funded. Now, it doesn't go to the business, it goes to a university via a business. So in essence, what happens is you take money from one arm of the government via Enterprise Ireland, and then you move that across into a university, and then the university appoints a research assistant to work on an idea that you might have in areas of innovation. Now, some people think, well, I don't really have a great idea that's entirely innovative. It's actually not about just products. It's products, services, and business model innovation as well. It's actually all 3. So I suggest that when everybody is talking about, double down in investing when we're through this period of accelerated change, what I suggest you do is check that out, and it's a super opportunity. Also, it's island-wide, so for anybody who might be watching this from any part of the island of Ireland, you can also work with this whether you're in the north or whether you're in the south. And in fact, wherever you might be tuning in from, there's lots of ways to connect with your university and find ways to create new employment opportunities within your local area through this mechanism. And the third point was cash flow. Now, I have to tell you, the most anxiety-reducing cash flow thing that you can possibly do is to actually have a forward-looking cash flow statement. So simply, on an Excel spreadsheet, and actually, I recommended doing this with an Americano and a purple snack. That always helps. So what I suggest you do is that you document on an Excel spreadsheet when money is coming in, and when money is expected to go out. So then you can see if there's any spots in there where there could be a big problem. And before that happens, start talking to your lender. So this evening, for example, it was sponsored by AIB, and they gave that advice. Engage with your lenders early if you are going to potentially have a cash flow issue, or if simply you'll need to borrow for the future and so on like that. So my top tip for cash flow is to manage it well by simply knowing where you stand, and then if you are in front of your lender, at least you know your story. The fourth thing that I spoke about is a way to get started in the stock market. Exchange-traded funds are the fastest growing financial product in the world, and they offer a way to track an index. And what I mean by an index is a very passive instrument that simply looks at the top stocks in the stock market and follows them. So you're not paying for an active stock picker, and you're not paying huge fees for them. So just to give you an example, if I was interested in tracking the world stock market, I might simply track the S&P 100 ETF. So that's a fund that simply tracks the largest 100 companies in the world. That's it. No stock picking, you simply track the largest 100 companies in the world. And there's lots and lots and lots of exchange-traded funds. So tonight I explained the difference between investing and trading. Trading is similar to poker. You have 4 people sitting around a table. They all have €20 or £20 or $20. And when the evening is finished, then simply the money has changed hands. No new money is created. Whereas in the stock market, because companies are generating profits over the long term, year on year, new money is created. And a very simple passive instrument like an exchange-traded fund might be the way to do that. Then the fifth thing I spoke about is pensions. Pensions are something where people just feel that they're full of jargon and that they're not quite sure how to navigate that environment, or even where to start or what questions to ask, etc. So I explain pensions as a very simple instrument. Imagine that there is just a package or a piece of paper around a pool of money. You can't get at that until you retire. The government incentivizes you to put money into that by giving you tax relief. Tax relief means you don't pay tax on it when you receive the money. It basically goes into the pension without being taxed at all. Then when it's in the pension, it rises tax-free, obviously, over the long term. And then when it comes out, a portion of it is tax-free as well. But in particular, I absolutely recommend that you reach out and you talk to somebody about it. For example, in Ireland, you can go to the pensionsauthority.ie. So there were my 5 key points that I wanted to talk about. But you see, Network Cork is all about supporting local. So what they did is they ran this entire production in the most amazing facility called VE Studios. Now, I'm not joking you. It is like walking in to the best TV channel in the world, and the professionalism that these guys bring, the preparation, the equipment, the lighting, the auto cue, the support, even the tea and coffee when you arrive after driving for quite some time in order to get here. And the guys here, they've got 30 years support. They just, no matter what it is, nothing is a problem. If it's live broadcast, if it's a green screen, if you need polls, questions, no matter what you want, the guys here all took care of it. But also, on top of that, Network Cork offered people a chance to pitch. They called it PIPs, called Pitch in Person. And that's a really important thing to do as a business, is find the opportunity where you can go out to a live audience or any audience and share your wares. It's really important to do that. And then the last part of the evening, while we were trending nationally, which I have to say was wonderful to see, the last part of the evening is where we had a panel discussion with 3 people who work in AIB. And they shared just a couple of key points, really. Number 1 is that if you're looking at pensions, you don't just have to look in your work. You can also look, for example, at a PRSA, which is a pension that ports with you. They also spoke about engage with your lender early, long before you need them. They also spoke about the fact that now banks ultimately have got largely remote staff. They're making more use of teleconferencing, they're making more use of email, and they too are changing the way in which they work. They also wanted to get across the point that it's important that they do lend money, because if they don't, they go out of business. So their doors and their vaults are open. And finally, go in and talk to them if you want to get advice generally about your finances, whether it is how to restructure your mortgage, take money out of your company in a tax-efficient way, or just get general business savvy. So here, live from VE Studios in Cork, I'm really delighted to thank Network Ireland branch, which is based here in Cork. A huge thanks to them for giving me the opportunity of the honour of this particular live broadcast. Thank you.